Okay. I am Wallis Nall-Boyd. I'm the fourth child of 12. And I'm the matriarch of the family now. And about Otis, he's a sort of quiet, but I used to tease him a lot. And he'd get mad because I used to say, and he liked Spot, his friend, and his mama used to talk, didn't have teeth, and I used to tease him about that was his girlfriend, and that would make him cry. But Otis he was a nice, obedient child, but he couldn't stand that teasing because I said, you, and plus he's stubborn whenever he got a whooping. He said, hit me again. I mean, he'd be saying that to mother or whoever. He was just stubborn. Whenever he got a whooping, he didn't get a lot of whooping because he wasn't a bad child. But anyway, I just love him to death. And he's a he's a Christian.
I'm child number 8 of a family of 12. What I remember during the Vietnam era, that we were in a small town in Fairfield, Alabama, where they kind of drafted most of the young men there that qualified for a draft. And at that time, Otis was living in He had moved to California, and there were so many young men dying in my small city that when my mother found out that Otis was drafted to the service, all she did was just pray. And she said that she believed that the Lord would bring her son back. And that's the Vietnam era in Fairfield, Alabama, and around James Otis Nall. Yeah, of course she was nervous during those days because there was so many young men died. It was like 1963, the year that I finished high school. I remember that one of my classmates, he didn't make it through the summer after going to we graduated May 31st, and before the end of the summer, he had died in Vietnam. So it was that rapid, and for such a small city, so many young men died. So by the time I think he was drafted around 66 or 67, quite a few had passed in that area. So I'm sure she cried alone, but all I know is she prayed and she felt that her son would come home alive, and he did. Otis was drafted out of California, so when he got out of the service, he came to Alabama, came and spent a month with us before he came back to California. And while he was there on that month visit, I decided I wanted to come back and go to California with him. And so on his trip back, I accompanied him. And we came back, and then, let me see, I had Charles, Otis, and I all got an apartment together. And that's how my life started in California.
Good morning. I'm Charles Nall. I'm Otis's brother. And Otis is he's 1 year younger than me. We're both, I'm 80, he's 79. And if I want to go back to the days to talk about Otis' character, Otis growing up, Otis, my mother taught us how to love. So she always said, love is not hugging and kissing. Love is what love does. And we do that. Raising 12 children in a small house. But we all loved each other, even up to the day. There was no fighting, none of that, no nothing. But you take Otis. Otis is a really nice person because we was to go to parties and stuff. Otis would never, if they had punch, he would not drink any of that punch because he think it's been spiked. Otis never drink, even up to this day. Otis don't drink. Otis don't smoke. Otis has got great character. Otis is really a spiritual man. He's very spiritual. Otis is very spiritual. Otis is very generous. Everybody who knows him in the family knows he's generous. But you know, I know they want me to talk about him in his going into the army. Otis went to the military, and when he went to the military, he came back home. And all the fighting he did in the military, he never had a gun in his house. The special, he was they call a point man in the military. That's a man that can shoot you down at probably 100 meters or more. I remember when they came home, the LAPD wanted to draft him as because of his skill with a gun. But that's when he put the gun away when he left the army. He don't own a gun. In fact, none of us own a gun. My mother made sure we didn't have a gun in the house. And that was Otis. Otis never, he don't have a gun in his house. And I think that's why he's so spiritual. And whatever he did in the military, that was for the government. But when he came back home, he doesn't drink, but he likes to eat. But,